Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 3. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. We starting off, Candace, she done finally let the floodgates open and she's crying. Makeup all messed up. Now, this is why she always dapping her face, because when we on regular scenes, we don't have time to call cut so she can get her makeup touched up. But now she is letting those tears flow. And I'm pretty sure she got on primer, she got on foundation, concealer, highlighter, powder. So all that tear mark was going to show. And she went in the back, got herself together, woosah and all that stuff come back out. We get to talking about this fight. And Monique says that Candace brought her back to a place of childhood by putting her hand in her face. Candace said that she felt she had no choice but to press charges because Monique was spinning an untrue narrative and going to bloggers stating that she is the one who started the fight. Monique is still adamant that it wasn't me. I told a family member and some friends, and they're the one who went to the blog. But we never did get clarification of how did a drink get thrown that was the cause of the fight, because that's what caused a lot of people to be jumping on Candace's neck for a whole entire year, because they thought y'all got into it. Drink was thrown by Candace and you fought her because of that. And when we watched the evidence, that was completely untrue. You was the one who started the fight. Now, I'm going to say this. It's not that I don't like Monique. I just don't like the way she's handled things thus far. You was nasty and ugly to Candace since episode 1 because of Charisse was there. You talked about with the other girls icing Candace out. You was nasty to her every time you turned around, and each and every time she apologized to you, she apologized to Ashley. She walked away, and you, when it finally blew down, I was at the point where if Candace finally just let loose and just fought her, I could understand why. But turned out that wasn't even the reason. It was Monique. Like I said, we still never get a clarification of how did the bloggers get that Candace threw a drink. How did that come into play? They asked, because I guess she felt she tried to get me locked up in front of my kids, get me taken away from her kids. But Candace so me, the victim, pressing charging on you, is my fault that you were taken away from your kids, not you, the person who attacked me, is going to get you taken away from your kids. Now, my thing is about the childhood trauma. Yes, you may have childhood trauma, but you can't pick and choose when the trauma is going to jump in. With Robin, your childhood drama was not, you didn't think about childhood drama and protecting yourself when Robin was dead in your face. But Candace, y'all was separated by a whole table, but you want to say childhood drama jumped in right then and there. And you talking about her getting your kid, and you getting arrested in front of your kids. You was not thinking about your kids when, 1, you was attacking this girl, and 2, you went after her saying that you wanted to kill her. You weren't thinking about your kids. Now, Ashley's saying she knows what it's like to have litigations brought upon her family. I just didn't think the case was going to go anywhere. I'm if you didn't think the case was going to go anywhere, then why did you write a statement in the first place? That didn't make sense at all. Do I believe Ashley and Michael was talking about Monique? Yes, I do. And here's why. Because Ashley, in her own mouth, was talking about Monique on camera to anybody who would sit still long enough. She's like, I was out with Monique and she had 5 margaritas. Yeah. It's something that the day me and Monique was out having margaritas, she got into a car crash. She be drinking a lot, y'all. She was going there spinning that Monique was an alcoholic or she was a drunk, and then she was out here crashing cars because she was out here drunk. So do I believe that Ashley and Michael was out here talking about Monique? Yes, because of that same reason I just stated. Now Monique saying that while she was in therapy, she discussed how her daddy used to poke his finger in her forehead when she was young as a way of bullying her. And she realized that is a trigger. She takes responsibility for her actions. Nothing that Candace did warranted her attacking her. Candace, she says, okay, she understands childhood trauma because, her mama, she understands. But her thing is, it's been 365 days and so many things have been said and done. She done scratched her face, had a cast photo, a song that we clearly know was about her. But Monique says, my therapist said that I should write a letter to Candace, but I didn't feel up for that. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. And I told the therapist that I used to write songs before I had kids. And Monique said that the song is a culmination of things in her life. Now, after calling Candace a narcissist for thinking the song was about her, when Candace is reading the lyrics, Monique's like, yeah, I agree. I said that because you had your hand in my face. I was like, is the song about her or is it not about her? You call her a narcissist because you think the song is about her. You call the song Drag Queens. Candace is a former pageant girl. Pageant queen. Drag queen. You were saying there, I dragged you, I did this. I don't remember lyrics and this, that, and the third. But you call her a narcissist in one moment because she thinks the song is about her. But then in the next moment, you were agreeing that, yes, I said that because you did this. But you also said that my therapist told me to write a letter, but I didn't want to do that, but I wanted to write a song. But then again, it's not about Candace, but my therapist told me to write a letter, but I decided to write a song. Okay. Candace agrees that her mouth is lethal. She has a smart mouth and she is good at cussing and fussing. But she said go back to different occasions where she, she was trying to get a rise out of her when she walked away. She said nothing she's done word to that. Monique said she was doing things behind the scenes. Now, this is where I don't like when we bring up what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, you say she was doing things behind the scenes. Tell us what she was doing behind the scenes that made you act like this. Because now we're just looking at you like you just jumped off. You was mad what was going on in your life. And you took it out on Candace. Now, I've said this before. I think that Candace and... nope. Ashley and Monique are jealous of Candace, and here's why. Yes, they both have money now, but Ashley is mad because Candace lived a life of privilege. She grew up with a mom and dad and a stepdad who took care of her. Ashley didn't have that growing up. Her mama was up there living in tents with people, and Ashley was living with grandma and grandpa. She didn't have that mother and father love growing up. Yes, she knew her mama was. Daddy didn't want to have nothing to do with her, but mama was off living her life in tents and all that stuff, where Ashley was left with grandma and grandpa. She has money now, but she's still mad that Ashley had that childhood that she didn't have. Monique has money now. Probably has more money than Candace. I don't know. But Candace was able to marry somebody that she loves, who respects her, and is not just want to put babies in her every other day. Monique, she has, the money, the houses and all that stuff, but she doesn't have that respect from her husband that she would like to have. He's basically, you tired, do this. She doesn't have that support, and that's why I think she's jealous of Candace. You can be jealous and have all the money in the world and still be jealous because this person, they're living the life I would want to have and the relationship that I want to have. I got this man. He just, I'm tired all the time and I'm not getting no support from him. And Candace gets the support from her husband. Okay. Candace kind of checks Karen for insinuating she lied about what happened. And so she paints the picture. We all saw it, but we're going to go through it. My hair was pulled. My head was bashed down. I was getting hit in the back of the head by Monique. I had one hand on my wig. And the other hand, I was defending myself because I couldn't see. Now, the way Monique and Karen are kind of acting is like, say this is a wine glass. This is a wine glass. Monique is there. I am Candace. It's like I threw the glass at you and I'm just whop, 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 whop. I'm trying not to make this spill out, but doing all this at you. In all actuality was, I have my wine glass in my hand. Hair is pulled. I am pulled down. You were beating me. I'm defending myself against a beating while trying to keep my hand on my wig because I don't want my wig to fall off on stage. And for Karen to make me feel guilty is beyond me. Monique says that's not the order of events. I was like, we just saw it. We saw what happened. We've seen it several times. And okay. Candace asked Karen why when she sent a text message expressing her disdain because Karen was going on several times saying that Giselle and Robert were culpable for what happened, and her going to Bravo trying to get her reprimanded or fired. I guess she sent a text message like, "Hey girl, why are you going around and saying this is Robin's fault and this is Giselle's fault? This is not their fault. It's Monique's fault. She is the sole person responsible for this, and now you're trying to get me fired. Well, you told me to go to hell." It's like, that's not threatening you. That's just me telling you to go to hell. I think fire hell, blazing hell, whatever kind of hell it was, she told her to go to hell. She's like, I care about you. She's like, I don't think you do. Karen says at one point she was scared of Candace after everything that happened. The person who got attacked, she was scared of that person. Not Monique, who had a vice grip on Candace's hair. The person who was trying to fight security to get to Candace. The person who ran around a building threatening to kill Candace. You were not scared of her, but you were scared because Candace told you to go to hell. Okay. I guess that makes sense in some people's world. I don't know. Where am I at? Okay. It is time for the men to come on. Giselle has security because after a post Chris Samuels made him. Chris Samuels and Monique Samuels, they made a video, and first of all, he said if I was Bruce Jenner, I would attack you. That would mean you would be attacking her as a man, but just as Bruce Jenner. What he meant was Caitlyn Jenner. Either way, it was wrong for, you saying if I was Bruce Jenner, because that means saying you was a man. He meant Caitlyn Jenner, but either way, like I said, that was wrong. Chris apologized, but they were coming after his child. But he's like, you don't go after people's kids. But Chris Bassett said, well, y'all support bloggers who go after the kids, because this blogger was coming for my kids and y'all support that blogger. So we talking about going after the kids. This is person y'all support was going after my kids. It may not have been y'all, but it's somebody y'all support. Candace breaks down and clarifies what happened about this whole plot against Monique. She says it was after the baby shower. They were discussing everything under the moon. This whole rumor that was started by Gigi, this spread through Charisse, or however it went. We mentioned the rumor that Gigi had started. And I said, that sounds stupid because the baby looks like Chris. Now, somehow that went into, they were plotting to make a storyline about this, but unless they just never showed it, it never came up on the show. The rumor came up and Monique was like, I don't want to give that life. Giselle was like, it was rumors that she was out here, with the trainer, and Big Boy found out. This was them asking Giselle her opinion, but it was never brought up on air. Andy says they never talked about it on the show. Monique says it wasn't aired. Now, I guess Monique knows more about, what was going on with Bravo than Andy. Like, Andy, he produces these shows. I'm pretty sure that he got, connections with the people who are doing the editing, and they've been like, well, this ABC had happened, but she's like, it was never aired. I'm like, I guess you know better than Andy, Monique, I guess. Unseen footage where Chris asked Giselle who the baby looks like. He's like, who the baby look like? He's like, the baby look like his daddy. She's like, who else would it look like? And Giselle says, y'all are the ones that brought it up. You the one, I come over y'all house and you was like, who the baby look like? He's like, you, who else is supposed to look like? Other than his daddy or his mom? There's only two people it can look like. I mean, yours, of course, could like the grandma and grandpa, but it's supposed to look like you. We get to talking about Robin's hats, and they kind of school Annie on why it's good to have a satin lined hat, because most hats It's just regular material. It can cause breakage and damage to your hair if you're wearing it all the time. But with a satin line cap, it's protecting your hair and protecting your edges. Robin and Juan are planning on building a house, and she wants a small destination wedding. We get that Chris Samuel was asked about Robin and Juan. He's still mad. His son is like, one day my son's gonna see this and he gonna hear the ladies talking about his mama, talking about his paternity. And he again says, we already discussed the context and nobody said anything about the paternity of the baby. Monique says, you not talk to my husband. That's why you ain't got a band behind you. She's talking to Giselle. Because Giselle's like, she said something. And she's like, you not talking about my man like that. That's why you ain't got a man behind you. I was like, she had a man. His name was Sherman. And you played a part in the Sherman not want to be with Giselle or on the show anymore. You and Sharice got together and pulled Sherman's ex-wife wherever she was at. Brought her on the show and started mess. And that's why Sherman is no longer on the show. We discussed the Chris and Michael confrontation. Chris says that he doesn't stand for disrespectful women, especially when it is his wife. Ash is going over, you said mean things about my husband. And Candace said, because your husband is a creep, which I would say so too. Your husband has on several occasions been caught grabbing the booty of a man who didn't want his booty grabbed. We had Andrew. We had that producer who Michael was sprinting across the room to go grab his booty. And then we had a cameraman. Your husband is always touching somebody inappropriately. That's why they have something to say about that. But Chris Bassett said he usually stays out of the drama, but he stays out of drama between Candace and Ash. So that's y'all business. I'm not jumping in there. He's like, he would have come if Michael would have come to me separately, and not in somebody's private party, he would have been more receptive. But like the way he comes at people is not well received. It's like 2 years ago, Chris almost beat the mess out of Michael because Ash was going around calling Monique a drunk. Michael brings that out of you. Like, first of all, you don't like me. I know you don't like me. And I know you don't like my wife. And you said all kind of nasty things about us. And then you coming at me this kind of like, you need to get your wife. Like, I don't need to do anything but sit back. That's her business. That's woman business. And I'm not getting into it. Why you need to get into it, I don't know. But when blows are being thrown, then maybe, yes, I will jump into it. He didn't say that, I'm paraphrasing. But him coming at me, he comes in a way where you don't feel like it's well received. So, y'all, that was suggest. If I left anything out, by all means, comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on when my beautiful face puts up a video. You can click on it, you can like it, you can share it with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people, tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.